This is The Great Outdoors with Jason White, exploring the great outdoors in Pennsylvania and beyond. Brought to you by the Mariana Outdoorsmen Association and by Wild Acres Farm, Fishery, and Regulated Hunting Grounds. Now, The Great Outdoors with Jason White.
Hello, friends. I'm Jason White. Welcome to The Great Outdoors. Looking to have an amazing show for you. I want to start off by thanking our sponsors, the Mariana Outdoorsman Association. Currently, the MOA, Mariana Outdoorsman Association, is running their spring-summer special. Memberships are now 30% discount for the summer months, May through August. Again, the MOA is running a special 30% discount. This thing is on fire. May through August. Go to MarianaOutdoors.com. Go to MarianaOutdoors.com to receive this 30% discount. Also, Wild Acres Farm, Fishery, and Regulated Hunting Grounds. If you're looking to book a weekend fishing trip, if you just want to have a stay on the farm, turkey hunts, deer hunts, so on and so forth, canoe and kayak trips, this is the place to be. Please go to 10mileco.org. Again, that's TENMILECO.org. 10 Mile CO stands for 10 Mile Creek Outfitters. That is who manages Wild Acres Farm, Fishery, and Regulated Hunting Grounds. Again, go to 10mileco.org, or you can call 724-579-0924. And last but not least, I would like to thank Washington County Tourism Promotion Agency. Please visit Washington County. Looking ahead for some upcoming events for the Mariana Outdoorsman Association. This Thursday at 3 p.m., there's going to be a trout stalking in preparation for the PA Trout Classic. Again, that is this upcoming Thursday at 3 p.m. We will be meeting at the 1997 Morey Road, Clarksville, PA 15322 address, which is Wild Acres Farm. We'll be stalking both sections of stream at 10 Mile and also Daniels Run. If you'd like to participate, happy to have you. And then our property will be closed for the remainder of Thursday through Saturday till 5 p.m. It'll be totally shut down for the PA Trout Classic. Again, trout stalking this Thursday, 3 o'clock, and then the property will be closed for the private PA Trout Classic event, which is a 2-day event. Really look forward to having everybody. It's really looking like it's going to be good weather. Need a little bit of rain. Looks like there's some rain coming in Friday night into Saturday, so really happy about that. Wednesday, June 5th, we will have tentatively another trout stalking. That is actually in preparation for the Appalachian Pipeliners Association's trout tournament, which is June the 6th, which is a Thursday. Please go ahead and save that date. We got to get that up on the MOA's Mariana Outdoorsman Association Facebook page and also on the online registration. It's not ready yet, but as soon as we have it, we will get it up there. Also, if you would like to register for the annual MOA golf outing, which is a collaboration this year with the Fayette County Farm Bureau. So if you're somebody that wants to support agriculture and conservation, this is a tremendous event for you. Saturday, July the 13th at 9 a.m., and that'll be at Cedar Brook Golf Course. By all means, happy to have everybody. Look forward to seeing you. And then by the time we get into June, July, and even August, we will have flower picking, fresh vegetables, etc. at Wild Acres Farm. So please stop and see us. Love to have you. Also want to make a special note that Wild Acres is available for special events, weddings, parties, corporate events, weekend retreats. Again, if you want to do any of that kind of stuff, please reach out to us, 724-579-0924, or you can go to Wild Acres Farm, Fishery, and Regulated Hunting Grounds on Facebook, and you can also go to the website at 10mileco.org. I wanted to give an update. I know I've talked about this on some past episodes regarding the legislative crop damage package that has been going back and forth between the House and the Senate. Senator Laughlin out of the Senate side has been very involved and supportive, and then State Representative Steele out of the House. Really excited about how things are progressing. It's nice to see everybody working together. These packages are not identical. The wording from the House and the Senate is a little bit different, but looks like they're going to kind of morph and be amended to come out of the Senate side as far as what we can tentatively see as of right now. But that being said, there will be 4 things addressed in the bundle, the package bundle. One is Sunday hunting will be legal in the state of Pennsylvania. That's number 1. Number 2, Title 34, which is the game and that would be your hunting and trapping laws. Trespass laws will be reformed to be much stricter than they currently are. I make a little mental note there. I'm going to circle back on this topic. That does not address Title 18, the criminal code, and I will just hold that thought because I'm going to come back to it. It will also, the third item is hunter access. We will expand. Other states have a program to where basically hunters that would like to access more lands, more properties, etc. Basically, private landowners would sign up as a registry, and basically hunters would have to go through some additional education classes, whether that's online, in person, etc., background check type stuff, etc., for a farmer to then allow you onto their property. So that's really exciting because I don't think it's too much to ask for people to have the comfort of knowing that you're a law-abiding citizen, and you're not going to cause mischief or ruckus or do anything wrong on their property. A lot of people that get into the public access programs, you have to understand currently you're opening the floodgates to every last person. That person could be a troublemaker. There are people that could be wrongdoers, people that are breaking the laws in other capacities but do not lose their hunting and trapping licenses. That's ultimately the concern. The people that are the rabble rousers that might still have their rights, but a private landowner doesn't want to deal with it. So it's just about a little more checks and balances, giving people the assurance to know someone's a responsible person. And, I think if you're a hunter and you really want to access more land, is it going to be that big of a deal for you to go ahead and prove that you're a law-abiding citizen? Well, I guess that's your choice. This is America. But if you want to have access to extra land, you're going to go ahead and put your name into the hat in this little program and just prove that you're going to follow the rules. The last piece of the puzzle is the red tag program. There's going to be some reforms that kind of address the way in which processed animals are handled. When I say processed, it would be the method of getting them to a processing facility. Currently, the way it is if crop damaged deer is harvested. I misspoke. Sorry, I didn't mean to say the red tag program. The crop damage program. When you harvest an animal, you have to wait for the Game Commission to come and actually pick the animal up and remove it. The problem with that is a lot of times the animals spoil, or the Game Commission might not get there for a day or two, and then the meat goes totally to waste. So the whole idea here is to give the farmer or property owner in general the ability to take that animal to a processing facility so the meat doesn't go to waste. I want to circle back to what I was saying about Title 18. Title 18 would be the criminal code in regards to criminal trespass. Criminal trespass falls underneath Title 18. This is something I'm very passionate about because I feel that I understand that people, even within Farm Bureau and even outside, clearly wanted some reforms in the capacity of criminal trespass when it comes to hunting and trapping. I sincerely feel that the bulk of criminal trespass is not in that capacity. I see a lot more people coming onto lands for other reasons, whether that's somebody just for whatever it may be, riding UTVs, ATVs, thinking they can just go on somebody else's property for whatever reason. And I don't mean to pick on UTVs or ATVs. I'm just giving that as an example. But I hear a lot of other complaints about these other items than I do in regards to the hunting and trapping. The hunting and trapping clearly is a good move in the right direction. But in the state of Pennsylvania, we have Title 34 and we have Title 18. Both are not being addressed at this time, but in the future, Title 34 is, Title 18 is certainly the next on the deck to hopefully get addressed in a better capacity to where, private property rights are stronger and people just have, the knowledge of knowing that people will be held accountable for trespassing on private property. I think this is critical that we address this because there are so many examples that I could give personally. I know I gave the example of UTVs and ATVs, but think about it. People coming in on your property. People obviously do things such as thefts, burglary, so on and so forth. Any of those things, although they're beyond trespass, if any of those acts do take place, if trespass laws are stronger, even when those acts take place, people would be punished even more severely because the trespass laws are increased. So there's a lot more to the trespass piece of the puzzle, especially across the whole state, because now you're protecting people beyond the hunting and the trapping side of this. Now it's whether you're in an urban area, suburban area, downtown, central city area, it wouldn't really matter. You're going to see a lot more impact from Title 18 for everybody as a collective whole, as opposed to Title 34 being more geared, I would say, at farmers, farms, landowners that have obviously chunks of ground where somebody would come on for hunting and trapping purposes. But clearly there's a need and certainly a desire to address Title 18. It's just you got to take bites out of the apple, as they say, or small bites out of the elephant, and that's currently where we are with that. We're getting there, but as the saying goes, Rome wasn't built in a day. So I'll keep everybody informed on this. This is kind of where it's at as of right now. It's been going back and forth out of the different committees. It seems like I was saying, people are working together on this. These are bipartisan issues. These are not one side or the other. Right now, I would say it's just kind of morphing and kind of amending some language on both sides of the aisle to bring it across the finish line between the Senate and the House. So really excited about this. It's nice to see not only an issue being addressed, but 4 issues being addressed in one package. I mean, I think that's truly a testament to the all parties involved. There's a lot of different organizations that have been positively involved in this, and I'm excited about that. I did hear something, and I think it kind of goes to how what's the best way to describe how I feel about this. I listened to some testimonials in regards to the opposition of these ideas, especially the Sunday hunting piece of it. And there was a lot of groups, trail groups, and also horseback riding groups regarding the trail riding and management and whatnot. And number one, I think from a safety perspective, I mean, clearly the statistics show that you're almost as likely to get hit by lightning as you are to get shot while riding a horse or anything along those types of things. But as managing Wild Acres and the Marion Outdoorsman Association, it's critical that there's good communication. It's critical that people know who's where, specific parking areas, things are properly posted, adequate signage, so on and so forth. It really just kind of opens my mind as to the thing that's concerning to me is that the discrepancy or even the debate over different views of even the Sunday hunting piece of the puzzle. It all comes down to land management. It comes down to property management. It comes down to, hey, and I'm not recommending that this be the case, but hey, if you're going to be riding a horse on this trail, you're required to wear, say, an orange vest and an orange hat, just like a hunter would. It's for your own personal safety as much as it would be for anybody else. So I think that's critical. I just feel like hearing the arguments, it kind of screamed to me that, geez, we're just not managing we're not adequately during hunting seasons, or maybe for that matter even beyond, adequately managing who's where, who's doing what, educating people as to better safety practices. Even if you were out, yeah, I don't care if you're going for a walk. Like I have fishermen that during rifle season that I tell the fishermen, hey, I recommend that you wear an orange vest and orange hat when you're on the creek. It's for your safety. It's for your safety because, like, what happens if somebody does trespass from another property and they come down and there's a stray bullet? Do I think it'll happen? No, but there's that 1 in a million chance, and I'd rather be safe than sorry. So yeah, when people were out with rifles and it's hunting season, hey, what's it going to take for you to put a vest and a hat on? It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal at all. But these are the things that come down to, I think, the Game Commission doing a better job, or at least being open-minded to looking at, hey, better practices about these things, addressing people's concerns, addressing the needs of the people that are, giving their views and opinions on things. More tutorial videos, more safety videos. Like, there's so much we could do in today's technology, in today's world. I think to address people's concerns, even from a safety perspective, although clearly there are more accidents. I've looked at statistics from it. The hunting-related accidents are minuscule compared to, UTV accidents, horseback riding accidents. I could go on and on with the different, watercraft accidents. The list goes on and on and on. But hunters are just certainly safer than these other examples when it comes to statistical data. But that being said, you still want to listen to everybody's thoughts and input and ideas. And I cannot stress enough that I feel that there has to be a better job of managing properties throughout the entirety of the year. And I think that even screams to the habitat side of things, transitioning away from the concerns about, how they're managed during different hunting seasons, because you have to understand, it would be like me saying, oh, I got a rifle range here, and it's also an upland bird hunting field. Do I have that situation? Yes, I do. But when somebody's out there using the rifle range, you're not using the upland bird hunting field. It comes down to coordination. It comes down to communication. It comes down to signage. It comes down to safety waivers. It comes down to rules, better practices as a whole. And that's a concern to me because, I'm seeing it firsthand of how I have to handle things to make sure things are successful. But when you look at it from the perspective of the concerns of folks with, just listening to people about trails, so on and so forth, clearly we can do things a little bit better. Do I personally think Sunday hunting should be legalized? 1,000,000%. 1,000,000%. There's so many positive benefits. I've given this analogy before. Basically the NFL owns Sundays anymore, seems like, college football Saturdays, and a lot of people are working 6 days a week, if not more. And, I think any opportunity we can give people to enjoy the great outdoors, we should, because it's not just about going out and enjoying. It's not just about enjoying nature or filling that tag. It's about passing down, heritage. It's about making memories. It's about learning how to, butcher an animal, how to process an animal, and I would hope prepare that as a meal for your family. I'm a firm believer that no animal should be killed and discarded. I just think that is simply as the right way to handle hunting, trapping, fishing, so on and so forth. Killing for the sake of killing is degrading to the sports, and that's just my take and view on it. But I think it's imperative that we pass on these traditions of Pennsylvania, traditions of the United States, but also pass on memories, create memories, pass on the butchering practices, how to do these things. Because guess what? People might laugh or make fun or joke about it and say, oh, it's just hunting or fishing. Ha, 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 ha. But, the thing about it is, we ever get in a war again, World War, and food supplies become short, the knowledge of being able to fend for yourself is critical. The knowledge of knowing how to plant a garden, how to take care of it, how to manage it, how to process foods, how to process animals, how to preserve them. These are all huge and, in many ways, forgotten ideas. Chocolate milk doesn't come from a chocolate cow. Milk doesn't magically show up at a grocery store. Nor do eggs, nor do processed meat. The list goes on and on and on. I mean, these are things that basic survival skills, basic ways to take care of you and your family. Can't stress it enough that people need to learn things that a caveman could do. So yes, I firmly believe that Sunday hunting is a benefit in Pennsylvania, and these are ways for you to survival skills, living skills. Let's not forget to mention the tourism side of it, the economic benefits to small businesses, the additional people that are going to come from other surrounding states to come here, spend money, gas stations, grocery stores, hunting leases to farmers. The list can go on and on and on. The opportunities are many. The economic benefits, there's many studies that have shown that the economics would be, I know it's millions of dollars. Don't quote me on the exact number, but millions and millions of dollars as far as positive economic input into the state. That's huge. Everything we can do in a positive regard is a notch against the negative. So, Sunday hunting is a good thing, and I think the fact that these other items are all being addressed clearly is in the Farm Bureau's best interest. It's in the best interest of everybody. It's fantastic to see. I mentioned about the Democrats and the Republicans both working together, but I also think it's imperative that you're seeing sportsmen and folks from farmers, folks that have large plots of land, finally working together because. I've heard different statistics, but the bulk of deer in Pennsylvania, I want to say it's somewhere between like 80, approximately. Don't quote me exactly. I can get the statistic to be a little harder, but it's somewhere between 80 to 90% approximately of all deer harvested are harvested on private property. Astronomical number. You're talking over 80% of deer are harvested on private lands. Number two, the amount of private lands ratioed out to game commission or game lands is astronomically lopsided as well. It's like approximately 3-1 or 4-1, something like that. It's not even close. So yeah, it's critical that we work with farmers, we work with people with land. That we strive for different mechanisms for land access, that we strive to protect private property owner rights, that we open up gateways for economic growth in the state, that we, get rid of blue laws that are outdated. Change is part of survival on this planet. Things that do not change typically die, and I think it's critical that we adapt and change our hunting and trapping mechanisms to meet with the times. Sunday hunting is simply one of them. So I'm really, again, appreciative, thankful of everybody involved. Some terrific folks have been working diligently on these items, and I think it's going to be a positive outcome for everybody involved. And like I said, looking forward, Title 18 cannot be overlooked. It must be opened up. It must be discussed. It must be reformed. And it needs to be a bipartisan reform because you can't address Title 34 and ignore Title 18. They both have to move forward. But hopefully Title 34 will be the template of 18 getting its reforms. That being said, I want to shift over to turkey hunting. This upcoming Saturday is the statewide opener for spring gobbler in Pennsylvania. I am very, very excited about this. I think it's going to be looks like it's going to be a rainy opener. Not super disappointed about that. The only thing I do not like about a wet opener is just if you shoot a really nice gobbler, it takes away from it so much just because you don't get those luscious pictures that you normally would when they're soaking wet. They definitely when a turkey is soaking wet, it definitely does not, in my opinion, carry the that jaw-dropping awe as it does whenever they're dry and just those feathers are fully fluffed out and just looking amazing. So I think a wet morning hunt, if we have that this Saturday, those birds are going to be out milling around. Just remember, turkeys have excellent hearing, excellent eyesight. When it's raining, definitely makes their visualization and also their hearing. It hinders a little bit of both. So it can also be kind of a benefit to you. They're going to be out milling around. They're going to be looking for that wet grass. They're going to be looking for that wet clover fields, that shorter grass, places that they don't feel. Because you got to remember, they're going to prefer an open space where they're going to feel that they can get away. Because when it's soaking wet like that, they're not going to really be wanting to fly. So very, very important that people know that. So be hunting the fields, folks. Get those open woods in the mornings. Whenever catch them coming from a roosting area to a field, and catch them on a field edge whenever they go out to graze around. If it looks like it's going to be wet, I'm really excited. I get to spend a lot more time this year than I have in the past. This kind of, I know we had a wet month about a month ago with all that rain 3 weeks ago, etc. But it's basically been relatively dry since. So it's granted us the opportunity to, over the past, I would say almost 2 weeks, to get as much of the planting done as possible. And still have a little bit to do, but I was glad to get the seed in the ground a little bit ahead of schedule, because it can be sometimes a nightmare whenever you're trying to turkey hunt and get up at 4 o'clock, be out in the woods by 5:15 for that daylight gobble, and then have a full day's work. So I was trying this year very diligently to get ahead of schedule, and I'm very thankful to have accomplished that. So we'll kind of see what happens, but make sure that you are in the rain. Make sure that you're hunting those field edges. Make sure you're catching those open woods as they're leaving the roosting area, headed to the fields. Also, if it's going to rain, make sure, I cannot stress this enough, make sure you have adequate clothing. The worst thing in the world is to be in something that isn't rainproof or rain resistant, and you're sitting on, sitting against a tree or muddy ground, and you're just getting soaked, and it's, instead of you enjoying yourself, it's absolutely miserable. So cannot stress that enough. Make sure you have the adequate gear for the conditions. Looking like, as of right now, I'll tell you what it's going to be here in southwestern Pennsylvania. It's looking like the morning's going to be 61 degrees and rainy. Very comfortable, mild temperature, not bad at all. But there's a but. The but is that is going to be wet, and with the rain, like I said, just make sure you have adequate clothing, adequate gear. Make sure your call. One big thing. This is very, very important. I can't stress this one enough. Your calls. So when you're in the wet conditions, if you have a slate call, or even a ceramic call, or even a box call, one of the worst things in the world is getting it wet and trying to utilize it. A lot of these calls do not work functionally or do not work properly whenever they're wet. So make sure it's not a bad idea to put things in a Ziploc bag, depending on what kind of conditions you're in, tucking it up underneath your clothes, maybe like inside your jacket, keep it out of the rain. You don't want to have anything exposed if it's going to be raining or even wet for that matter. Box call gets wet, probably not going to work very well. Slate call, ceramic calls get wet. They don't work very well. They do make calls that work even when they get wet. That's not all of them. Obviously, a mouth call, not going to be a problem. You need your mouth to be wet for a mouth call to work. But that being said, if it's going to be rainy, if it's going to be wet, just make sure you're prepared for the appropriate conditions. Make sure you have, if you're going to be on the ground, I would highly recommend some type of a cushion or a seat. My turkey vest actually has a seat built into it, so like that's something that's very important to have. Make sure all of your calls are adequately out of the rain. If that's in a Ziploc bag, you do not want them to be soaking wet. You go to take a call out, and even when you're utilizing them, I would suggest putting them up under your coat. You don't want to be, if you're sitting on the ground and it's raining down real hard, you go ahead and hit a call and it gets wet, it's not going to last you very long. The other thing is when you're in rainy conditions, I would recommend taking 2, if not 3 calls with you, extra strikers, because if stuff does get wet, you don't want that to be the one-stop shop for you. I highly recommend having a backup available to where, a couple raindrops come down and get your strikers wet and get your slate call wet. Well, maybe you got a box call in your side pack. Maybe you got a mouth call, whatever it may be. Wet conditions, a mouth call is probably your best friend. I'm not the biggest mouth call fan. That's just me. I don't do it very well. It's never really been my thing. I love a good slate call. I have a box call. I'll use it too. But I have one of those slate calls that was passed down. It's very sentimental to me. It means a lot. I take it out every year. It's been very effective, very efficient. I've shot numerous birds from it. So these are just things for you to think about. Like, the conditions are clearly going to be different than dry. So just make sure you're prepared. Make sure you have everything out of the weather. Make sure everything's secured and put away. You don't want stuff being soaking wet. Rainy days are great days to be hunting out of a hunting blind. Something set up to where it keeps you a little drier. Because like I said, the worst thing that could happen is if you're trying to use calls and your stuff's soaking wet, you're going to be very, very disappointed. So just some things for you to think about. Make sure you got the right ammo. Make sure you got that hunting license. Make sure you got your cushion for it to sit on. Make sure you got the adequate, proper clothing. Make sure you have the right shoes. You're going to be out in wet conditions. Highly recommend like a rubber hunting boot. You don't want to go out there in like a leather boot or leather shoe that isn't waterproof. That wet feet can be certainly a misery as well when you're talking about hunting for turkeys, or for that matter, hunting in general. So these are just some little tips of the trade, tricks of the trade for you to consider this upcoming Saturday. It's going to be wet, so plan accordingly. I want to circle back to the MOA, Mariana Outdoorsman Association's upcoming events. This Thursday, 3 o'clock, we're going to be having a trout stalking. Going to be 6 different types of trout: browns, brooks, tigers, palominos, rainbows, and the Patriot trout. Patriot trout is actually like a hybrid brook trout. They got the name Patriot from their extremely red and blue colors, which is extremely unique and look very cool, I must say. So if you've never caught one, you should definitely come check us out. Again, this Thursday, we'll be stalking at 3 p.m., 1997 Morey Road, Clarksville, PA, 15322. Happy to have you. Everybody's welcome. And then Friday and Saturday is the PA Trout Classic. We will be opening it up at 4 a.m. at the bait shop. Excuse me. Our bait shop will be opening up at 4 a.m. for registration. Folks will have to register and check in before they're allowed to go down to the waterway. You can stand there in the dark for a couple hours, as far as I'm concerned, if you want to. But we have a full field. Everything's sold out, so I'm really excited about that. That'll be from daylight till 5 p.m. both days. All fishermen have to be back with their tags turned in before 5 o'clock. And we have 8 different categories as far as how we're going to go ahead and, pull out the winner. So really excited about that. That being said, June we're going to be stocking again. That'll be June the 5th, which is a Wednesday. That's the tentative date. Then that'll be in preparation for the June the 6th. That's the Appalachian Pipeliners Association. They're going to be hosting another trout tournament. It'll be a one-day event promoting not only conservation, but also highlighting the Appalachian Pipeliners and all the good that they're doing for the energy industry. And the last event on the horizon is the Saturday, July 13th golf outing, which is a collaboration between the Fayette County Farm Bureau and the Marion Outdoorsman Association, highlighting the agricultural and also agricultural industry, farms, and conservation, and kind of their bond and symbiotic relationship that exists between the two. So I'm really excited about that. Hoping that we can get a full field at Cedar Brook Golf Course. That's an amazing track. Really love playing there. We'd love to have you. If you want to register, you go to MarianaOutdoors.com, go to the donation tab, and you put your the total amount, and you just put golf outing in the comments, and that's how you go ahead and register. Or you can do a check, or you can come to our bait shop and pay, or you can mail it in, whatever's convenient for you. But a lot of positive stuff. I also wanted to highlight the last thing for the day. We've been doing a lot of work at Wild Acres. Really, really thankful and appreciative of everybody that's been helping. We've been doing a lot of repairs on our event venue, which is an old historical barn. Been doing soffit and fascia and gutters, door repairs, siding repair, our little shed on the outside. We did a lot of work there with roof and soffit, fascia, gutters. Same thing with our lodge with the roof and soffit, fascia, gutters there as well. We're going to be doing some work in the future, just continuing to enhance that facility. If you have any type of a corporate event, a team building event, if you have anything for family reunions, graduation parties, weddings, our barn now holds approximately 80 to 100 people. You can have weddings inside of it. And then across the street, we have our lodge, which can handle typically 8 to 12 people comfortably. You can get more with, blow-up beds and stuff like that. And then above the lodge, we have a space for wedding tents, approximately 60 by 80, but we're enhancing it. We're getting a little bit bigger to get even larger. So big enough space that you could get 200 to 300 people under a tent for sure. Really excited because, our goal was always to highlight what a beautiful space it is, let people, be part of history because you have such Civil War era facilities, and get people to make memories, whether that's, graduation parties, family reunions, weddings, obviously those once in a lifetime moments together. Just really excited, and I'm really thankful, and I hope you will too. And this PA Trout Classic is actually this first time we're really going to be highlighting a lot of this stuff in a larger, grander scale. Some other things we have on the books for this year. We're going to be doing a 2-acre wetland expansion project where we're improving and creating a bunch of waterfowl habitat. So I'm really, really, really excited about that because that's something that I've wanted to expand and grow as far as the property was concerned and as far as things were for us to kind of broaden our horizons, give people more opportunities, look at things that could be untapped resources, and with high elevation areas and local flyways, it just seemed like a no-brainer. So, and not to mention, wetlands are also a huge benefit for other wildlife, not just waterfowl. Whether you're talking amphibians, when you're talking deer, pheasants, so on and so forth, there's just a lot of tremendous benefits to what we're doing. So really looking forward to that. The last big one is, and I call it the elephant in the room, but it's the Daniels Run fish habitat enhancement structures. Been working on this now for 4 years. It's been a long haul, very expensive. We've been doing everything internally. We've spent, it's well over $50,000, probably closer to 75 in regards to habitat to hold more fish, hold more bait fish, hold more macroinvertebrates in the streams. And it's been a tall task, and I can't say thank you enough to everybody that's been involved. Looks like I think we're finally going to get to the finish line this summer, and we have some plans to put some additional structures in the water, and I'm just really looking forward to it. Things are coming together. Things are finally getting where they need to be, where we want them to be, and I'm so excited because it is the only trout stream in Washington County, Pennsylvania that holds trout 365 days a year. And the mind-boggling thing about all that is that it's not on any state map. It's not registered with anything. Doesn't get acknowledged by the state for our efforts. And you know what? That's okay, because guess what? You get to enjoy it, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. But for now, please enjoy turkey season this week. Please be safe. If you want to join the MOA, go to MarianaOutdoors.com. I'm Jason White signing off. This is Great Outdoors. God bless and be safe.